Hey everyone, I hope you can see me, you can hear me. Ken and Angel's gonna be here in a couple of minutes. I have time to prepare it. I hope you're all having a good day and also a good trading week. Gonna talk about a few markets. I'm looking for a few opportunities. So today's gonna be very excited live stream session. Hello Chaitanya. Hello mate. Hey Flying Boy. So let me also open the trading view. Okay. And okay. Mhm. And before we go any further, I will also just briefly notify Discord and Telegram community so everyone knows we are live and we can dive in. It's been a great week, Jake. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that most of you guys are being successful this week. Angel is already here. Let me accept him. Hello, Angel. I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, probably a microphone. Yeah, I just realized he's not wearing the microphone. Okay. Where's the telegram? Yes, I can hear you now.
I forgot the microphone actually.
Yeah, I
How
thought
are
so when
you,
you start
Jake?
panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. I can't complain. How's everyone doing? Let me take the chat real quick. Oh my. Those gold longs. Just
Okay,
beautiful,
it's
man.
also
Art.
here. Let me. Someone said that on a chat, especially your long trade on gold, Jake. Yeah, actually, yeah, the gold
Yeah, it's
trades,
just
both of them
beautiful.
were beautiful. Hello, Ken. How are you doing?
Hey guys.
Hey Ken,
Yeah,
what's
good.
good, man? What are you
Good.
doing, signore?
Yeah, okay.
Gonna have a little bit of Spanish lessons with Angel joining us.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Gonna at the very end of the year, we're gonna be fluent Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, I know Spanish is like one of the hardest language that you can learn, but I mean, it's nothing compared with such language. But I mean, it is, it's good.
Yeah,
Not that hard.
it's also very used in the world, right? I think it's Mandarin and then it's English and then probably Spanish. So it's useful so you know that language. Everyone, I'll just notify in communities so
Yeah, of
we
course.
can
No worries.
dive in a second. We are live.
We can enjoy the view right now with this gold trade running. I mean, if
Could you
you're
take
holding,
any? Yeah.
if
Sorry.
you're holding, if like
Mm.
anyone that is currently holding that long gold must be like, you know, trying to cut their hands not to close the trade or decide to take profits because it's hard, that momentum.
Yeah. And actually, on Monday we were discussing it, and I said I'm gonna go long because I'm 90% sure we're gonna get that higher high, and I didn't. And a lot of people actually did from the live stream, and then also on Tuesday I shared the post that we're going to create another higher high, and we did. I actually did take that trade, which went perfect. But if I knew that much volatility is coming to gold, I would just hold it because I would be twice as much in the profit. But then sometimes it's better to close it earlier. Any
Yeah,
profits are better than no profits at all. So
yeah, it's better to take profits. Can also mention
yeah,
it that we might see some sort of momentum going in once we take the high. And you can see, like, as soon as we took the high, we actually traded lower. We took a lot of stops, a lot of people out of the way thinking that now it's gonna drop, and then all of a sudden we're back on track. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
pretty
yeah.
much
I
trading.
was part of the liquidity. I, I placed. I said I wanted to place my pending orders. I placed my
Yeah.
pending orders. When was it? On Tuesday. Daytime. Because I was expecting for that push overnight, and then obviously we hit it. We went above. I had my orders at like 34.95. 34.95. The stops Yeah, and I was stopped out basically. I had my stops back at 34.80, and then obviously it came down, and the thing is, what guts me is that we produced a nice higher low. We swept liquidity in London of Asia, and then we went, and I was like, for goodness sake, man.
Yeah. But you said it on a Monday's live stream. You said that your, if I'm not mistaken, your buy stop are going to be probably like 3.52, which is this level somewhere. I think I remember that correctly. And then you would probably make even more than me on this move if you'd take those pending orders on 3.52. Yeah, I think it was that level or somewhere around it that you said you're going to go long.
Oh, well, I didn't. And, you know, the proof is here on my E8 account where I'm now back to break even. So I risked 1% on that with the buy stops, and then, yeah, taken out. But it is what it is.
Unfortunately, yeah. But it's kind of good strategy. Not that I have months of testing it, but basically what I realized a couple of months back, a couple of months ago, that if market is extremely overbought or oversold, and the market behavior, the sentiment on retail is trying to push it down or like against the trend, then we most definitely will create a new higher high. Those odds are very high, and it happened on gold just 3 times in a row. So I think I'm going to be trading more of this. I saw a couple of currency pairs that I'll be probably trading the same way as I traded gold. So we'll see after Ken shares his analysis. I can dive in as well and hopefully provide more ideas into the Discord community.
Yeah, man.
Was very, very impressed. A lot of people actually took that trade.
Yeah, man, it's moving like 1,000 pips from there. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Gold is on a bull run. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been expecting this for a while, you know, this breakout, and obviously now it's coming to fruition. Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's beautiful, and there's so many supporting factors, as we said on Monday, just for this push. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen just to have some charts on the screen, but I'll stop sharing.
Yeah,
and it's yours.
I'll just do a quick little rundown.
Taking notes.
Okie dokie. Screen. All right.
Let me briefly check the chat because we had a couple of questions in the Discord, so I told them they can ask in the chat on a live stream. It's going to be easier to answer that. I've been stopped out bullish now. You always.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it's yours.
Yeah. A few questions here, and people try and understand why, you know, gold is bullish. I mean, now more than ever, we have got like so many supporting factors for gold. Okay. The first thing, guys, I'll just quickly skim over the macros, and then we'll look at technically what's happening here. But the first things first is obviously, you guys know, with the threat of independence between US government and Jerome Powell, that's like a big talking point right now and a big worry for investors. The fact that, you know, we don't have the independence from the Fed, the decisions are coming from Trump. So when we have that at jeopardy, it forces a lot of you know, uncertainty and a lack of confidence. Excuse me. So that is supporting gold. The other thing that's supporting gold is you have to. I was speaking about it this morning on a Instagram video, but I was just saying that, you know, when we're heading towards rate cutting cycles, it's very important for you to note this, because then you can next time, right? Or you know what's happening when we're going to hike rates again after this bust. But when central banks start indicating we're going to be cutting rates, i.e. big central banks such as the FOMC, what happens? Remember, when we're lowering interest rates, we're lowering yields, okay? So yields will come down. If you look at let's look at US 10-year yields right now, okay? US 10-year yields are very depressed right now. They've been falling for a little while, obviously in fitting with the dollar fall as well, but yields are on a decline. Yields are on a decline because we're getting ready for the rate cuts from the FOMC, okay? So what happens is, as an investor, you have to remember these markets are made up of real money, okay? We're not just looking at prices here on the chart. We're talking about actual capital flows. We have to follow the flow of money. You hear me say that all the time. But obviously a lot of money goes into US treasuries. Now, if the FOMC are telling the market, look, we are going to be cutting rates, that means as an investor, your rate of return, i.e. your rate on your 10-year bond, your 20-year, 30-year, whatever, is going to come down, the yield. So what happens is we have what's known as capital rotation. Okay, happens all the time. So capital rotates out of bonds, out of treasuries, and it goes into gold because markets are thinking, where is the next safest place I can earn my money and earn a yield, right? If yields are coming down here, I'm taking my money out and I'm going to go and get a yield over there in gold. And damn freaking right, are they getting a yield in gold right now? Okay, they're getting a massive yield right now in gold. Is depending on where they bought in. We're seeing that big push to the upside. So you can see the weakness, how this sort of coincides. You see the weakness there in yields falling, okay, and then gold is rising. That's the relationship that it has, okay. So that's one of the key reasons. The other thing is we've been talking about this since freaking March. I think whenever we started doing the first streams, I don't know if I'm exaggerating there, but a while. And I was telling you guys that we're seeing big central bank buying of gold, and it continues. China has been buying for 9 straight months, and they're not just buying little ounces. They're buying chunky. Look, they increased by 60,000 troy ounces to 73.96 million troy ounces last month. That's huge. They're buying a lot of freaking gold. And then you have to think, why are they buying gold? Okay, we're heading towards an economic downturn, uncertainty. Currencies are going to start deflating. I mean, currencies have been freaking deflating anyway, eroding. But I remember gold is a hedge against currency erosion, right? Why am I saying this? Because remember, inflation's been high for a long period of time. So your value of your buck, your pound, whatever, euro is decreasing. It doesn't go as far anymore. So like there's so many factors. I could carry on speaking here about gold. But gold is pushing, and that's why we're getting this breakout. And what's super damn sexy, and not me being taken out, but what is super sexy is this freaking structure right now. Like it's so clean. Look, it's so textbook. And obviously right now, just be aware. All right, I know people are going to be getting FOMO and itchy fingers, right? But just you're going to have to sit and wait and allow the pullback to happen now because you're buying in dangerous territory. You're buying at the higher high right now. So yeah. I'll be waiting for potential pullback. Yeah, so the trade that I had, okay, was I had the pending order placed here at 13.95. So it's like, 34.95 is where I had the order, and then I had my stops at 80. Okay, I was expecting that straight explosive breakout. I thought we'd have a lot of momentum considering that we'd tested it before. Where was it? It was in April, wasn't it? Yeah, here. I thought we were going to just get a straight breakthrough. I mean, on the daily, we basically did, but obviously, yeah, I got caught out by that, which is fine. So we're breaking out. And what I was just saying there was that I had the opportunity here because we had a bit of a test of the Asian range low there. Okay, bit of liquidity sweep, not the cleanest of, just the wicks there, and then a continuation, and then look, we bam, gone clear. So it looks super nice right now. I think if you ask me where we're pulling back, it would be great to come all the way back down and use this as new support, this new demand zone here at 3,500 for potential dip buying. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Jake.
Do you think that we can go all the way up to 3.6? It's not that far, actually. It's about how much? $30? Yeah, about $30. Because
it's not.
The sentiment on the retail side is still bearish. Like people are trying to get that pullback. On the second side, I think that with the buying that you mentioned, and then again, big players are still taking or still holding the longs. The candlestick formation or the price action is not looking any good for the pullbacks. Do you think that we can take that $30 move?
I think so. I mean, yeah, there's no signs of slowdown right now. Just obviously we keep having these, these periods of like big bursting momentum. Then we consolidate. Then an equivalent move to the upside. Like, look at it. It's clean. I think, we're going to be, if we're looking for psychological numbers and where potentially people are like, oh, I might cut some profits here. It probably would be 3.6. It makes sense. 3,600. And then obviously we're going to need to see that pullback. Every time we get to all-time highs, you can see obviously the pullback is quite decent. It's quite a decent pullback, every time. Not massive, but enough. So just be aware, guys, when we do get that pullback, it's going to happen. But I just think, I don't know whether it's going to be here at 3,500 at that April high, or whether it would be back here at this zone where we are capped, you know, about sort of 34, 45, 40-ish, like here could be. But
Yeah.
either way, we are going to get that pullback.
Yeah, I would
before we
just
carry
probably
on.
just mention that I wouldn't, at least me personally, I'm not going to try to trade the pullbacks on gold.
No.
Definitely not at this time. So it's better to just wait and try to catch again the continuation of the trend rather than just trying to sell it, because that's a suicide in my view.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
crazy.
It is.
Yeah, right now,
And
that's crazy.
you know where I say before, I always say about using sort of flags and pennants. Like basically, obviously, we have the, you know, these pennants and these flags forming here,
Mhm.
where it's just obviously these are just periods of consolidation, right? Where the momentum sort of lost some steam. Markets is obviously taking profits, and then we have a breather, and then that's why we consolidate. But then we get an equivalent move to the upside. Like so, when I always when we're in unknown territory, I do measure these up, like these initial moves, these momentum moves here, and then I'd like to see the equivalent in terms of the breakout to the upside. So you saw that there, we came here, and then we consolidate again, we formed another flag, and then I measure again that momentum move before, you know, this consolidation, and then I want to see the equivalent to the upside. So
Yeah.
I think like now, like when you look at this, we had this big run of momentum for April, and we've got this massive sort of pole here of the flag of this huge pennant which we consolidated. Maybe we get that equivalent breakout to over 4K, you know, at some point. But like every
Some
time you
point.
look, we get the breakout, we do retest a little bit and then continue. Not always, but sometimes. But 4K could be on the cards. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
possible.
in long run, I agree with you. In long run, if especially if the US dollar is going to get the weakness from the Fed and Trump kind of harassing the Fed for lowering the rates, which is ongoing for a couple of months already. So I think when that happens and dollar gets even weaker, yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, dollar. Obviously, we gave the spiel on this. It's not really doing anything at the moment. I see people messaging in the chat at the moment about euro and stuff. I mean, like as a swing trader, it's just not. This is not the time.
Is that the
you know,
wiggly
just-
time frame? Oh, look at the.
Yeah, this is weekly.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look
It's
at those
insane.
candles. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's atrocious. Like it's not swing trading paradise. You know, it's really bad timing. I think as I say, we have to wait for let's just bring up Forex Factory. We have to wait for non-farm payrolls on Friday, guys. Okay, that's the big one.
Definitely.
And I think, as I said to you guys, I think I'd lean towards that this being disappointing data, and that we do get that. It's not about September anymore. It's about what happens after in terms of rate cuts. How many more are we getting? Are we going to get a couple more? If that data does back that, then dollar's going to be in trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you?
Yeah, I can go on a Euro USD a little bit.
Yeah,
I'll just share the screen so I can
Yes,
provide
sir.
also with the charts. As Ken said, I completely agree. It's not the best time for swing traders. However, when I'm looking at the Euro USD, we are trading in this range since, what was it, August, and there are basically four major levels that I'm watching all the time on Euro, which is here at the top, 1.173. At the bottom, very at the bottom, is 1.158, and then two in the middle, which is 1.163 and 1.168. And then I'll go to lower time frames, and possibly what I'm trying to either do is now, as we are right here, I'm watching if we're gonna get some sort of a bounce, and if so, I'm trading towards the 1.163. If not, if we break above that, for me, the odds and chances that we're going to go all the way up to 1.173 are very high. So this is how I basically adapted to trading Euro USD, just in this range. Open so far just one trade, but technically, just technically, this is how I now approach the Euro US dollar, as we are still in this very weird range. So
definitely, Jake. What are those levels there that you have in yellow?
Orange. Yeah. Basically, I'm watching either psychological levels, which are round numbers like 1.165, 1.16, 1.17, but also what prove me right in the past few years is levels 8 and 3s. In this scenario, which is 1.16, then we've got 1.163, 1.165, 1.168, and 1.17. This is like basically the levels where I usually looking either for bounce break. Those are the levels where I on Forex usually open my positions. I don't open it randomly. I always do it on those numbers, either the around psychological numbers or then 3s and 8s. And if you just put it into trading view and do more pairs, you'll see that 8s and 3s they react pretty well on Forex pairs. So yeah, that's the one of the indicators that I'm using, probably the one that I use most of the time.
I'm pretty sure once we trade out of that range, it's going to trend beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be an expansion.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely
Once we
an
break
expansion.
either above or below, if the Fed is going to get actually if the NFP data are weak, and if the weakening of dollar is going to happen, I think we break out above 1.168. We're going to get all the way to 1.173, and probably if dollar will remain in its weakness, we can finally break above and we can take some swings on Euro USD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So that's Euro USD. I don't think that I have anything for GBP US dollar. I think mostly it's probably the same. Yeah, not a clear trend on higher time frames, just going sideways. So, and I would rather prefer to trade Euro USD at this point than pound USD. I don't know. How about you, Ken? Do you have anything about pound and US dollar, or again staying on the fence because of the weird structure of the market at this moment?
Yeah, the structure is a bit weird for GP versus the dollar. I think as I said on that previous stream, on the daily, there's like a potential big inverse head and shoulders forming there. We're still on the right shoulder at the moment,
bullish.
which is interesting.
So you mean this one as a left shoulder head
Yep.
and now right shoulder, basically with this?
Exactly that.
Okay.
So yeah, this looks
So you're
interesting.
waiting if we break a ball, retest it, and then go up. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah. That's on the watch list because that's a big area anyway. 136 is quite big. So if we take that out, I'll be very interested in longs.
Okay.
For a swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And about UK economy, are you feeling good about it? Like from the fundamental standpoint? Like,
you know what?
yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, look at I bet some people missed this. Look at GU on Thursday. Go on a 30-minute or 15-minute chart, whatever. And look on
chart.
Tuesday. Yeah, look on Tuesday. That big drop.
Tuesday. Oh, this one. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 150 pips or so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 180, 200 pips. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, so not everyone saw that, but for anyone that doesn't know, basically what happened there is, but essentially UK yields rose to their highest level. Like the 30-year yield rose to its highest level borrowing costs since 1999 or 1996, and so basically there's a lot of worries at the moment around UK public finances. So the UK, the government, I mean, as I say, leaving politics to the side, I could rant on this massively, but leaving politics aside, the UK government has a lot of debt right now, and they continue to borrow money. They continue to borrow to finance their existing debt. So now, where borrowing costs have just risen to 27-year highs or whatever it is, now the finances are a mess. So now they're looking to raise taxes in the UK. They're going to announce the budget later on this year to try and plug some of that gap, that big deficit that they have. But then the UK growth right now is bad. So they're going to raise taxes. We've got high cost of living in the UK. We've got low growth, and they're going to go and raise taxes. So I think the UK situation right now is very, very, very sensitive, but markets are not overly sort of worried about it at this moment in time because GBP is sort of recovered and it's up against most of its peers today, surprisingly. But I think that is a potential worry. But it's not having an impact right now. We've reversed 50% of that drop there, and yeah, man. But that's why we sold off basically. because of that.
Okay. Yeah. I
Fiscal
didn't know
worry.
it's that bad in the UK. Like,
Yeah, man.
this is the first time I'm
Bad.
hearing about the taxes, so
Yeah,
it didn't make
it's
any sense
crazy.
to me.
I mean, taxes in the UK are high enough as it is,
Yeah.
and like they're gonna go and do it again, which is bewildering to me.
So
Yeah,
it's
man.
not going to be based on income. Just everyone will get higher taxes, right? At this point.
Yeah, everybody. They're
Damn.
looking to do
Yeah.
sort of taxes across various bands, pretty much all bands, all brackets, which is is crazy, man. It's crazy. But
Because last time I've heard about tax increase, it was mostly for rich people in UK. That's why also many rich people left UK, because they increased their taxes, but increasing to everyone, that's very wild move from
yeah,
UK government.
yeah, it is. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know what they're going to try and do. There's a lot of different suggestions going around at this moment in time. They have until autumn, so I think the budget is in September. Well, no, the budget is coming up actually. I think, is it October? They're trying to push it back. I think they're trying to push it back because they don't know what they're going to do. They're a mess. The government is a mess, which is why, I mean, this current government are probably going to be going at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just uncertain times, I guess, right now.
Okay, Chatanya also said, where is lost the message? Yeah, take a look at Euro GBP. Actually, I haven't traded Euro GBP in a while. Looking at the higher time frame, we look like we're bouncing here, creating new low on a daily time frame. And if actually pound is about to get stronger, the shorts might be still on the table, but the structure on lower time frames is a little bit bullish. Overall, we're going sideways again, so pretty much the similar scenario on 4-hour time frame as on the Euro US dollar. It's kind of hard to tell what I would be trading now. Maybe as we bounce from 0.87, I would be probably for shorts, but then I don't see how far can Euro GBP fall. I mean, maybe towards the 0.865, which is like 30 pips. If I'd be trading, I would maybe trade this, but then I think that we will reverse. We'll take a look higher here and then probably bounce again. I think till we have some either very positive or very negative data from Euro, I don't think this is going to go one direction.
That's when you want to stay away from the pair because there's no real or clear direction for it to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's someone asking for USDJPY as well, Jake, if you want to take a look into it.
Which one?
USDJPY, UJ.
UJ. US dollar, Japanese yen?
Yep.
Which is also an interesting one. I would love to take the longs on this one, just technically from 1 hour, 4 hour. But then I don't know about US dollar or taking the longs on the dollar right now. Probably I would rather go short on it. In my view, if we're going to get some correction in this zone, as there's pretty decent support at this point, if we're going to get some sort of a correction back towards 148.3, then I'll be probably eyeing the shorts on UJ. I don't think if we're going to get after this bearish momentum, if we're going to get the correction back towards 148, I think it's going to be something a little bit smaller and we'll go down a little bit deeper. Yeah. Do you have any insights from your part, Ken, on UJ, or you're not trading it at all?
Yeah, no, staying away at the moment. This
Okay.
this weekly price action is just very narrow. It's very narrow on a weekly. Yeah, I have no view because I'm just right now. I don't really have. I'm not bullish dollar and I'm not bullish yen. I wouldn't be comfortable longing either of those two personally. Yeah, and
Okay. That's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Do you have any other pairs that you would like to talk, or do we pass mic to Angel with indexy analysis?
Yeah, pass to Angel. I think that's it
Okay.
for me for the time being. I'm gonna have a little look through, and then if anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, me too. Angel, I'm going to stop sharing, and if you want to, screen is yours.
Yes, sir. Signore. Hold on. Let me check where is this. Screen. All right, I'm going to start with my stats for September already because I'm up 2% on the EA Markets account. I've lost today one trade. All right, I'm trading just one trade a day. I'm risking 0.5% per trade, and I'm always looking for like 2R because most of the accounts, at least for signature accounts, you'll be trading with a consistency requirement. So I'm trying to stick the risk as realistic as possible, right? And something that you have on our trading platform for futures is that you have the metrics apart from your dashboard, of course. It's really useful. It shows you a lot of data that might be useful for you to take a look to your performance, right? So yeah, I took a loss today trying to long actually, even though I'm still looking for sells because as explained on the stream from Monday, I'll tell you guys that we have this gap here in the daily time frame, and as soon as we close below the gap and we disrespect the gap, we might see the price trading lower. And we already took the August 20 low, right? But as soon as we took the low, as you guys can see, it was just a liquidity sweep and we traded back into the range. So now we are here. Today was not like a good day at all in terms of price action because we don't have like a trending day. We did have moves from yesterday because yesterday London just did the entire daily range during the early morning, and then there was not much to trade in New York, right? And today it was pretty much like this. London and Asia traded into the range, and then New York was kind of choppy, right? You could have trading in both directions. You could have take longs, you could have take sells, and we are here again on the Nasdaq. So it's pretty much a waiting game because if you look at the news for this week, what do we have left tomorrow? So tomorrow we have unemployment claims and PMI at 10 a.m. And Friday we have NFP. So I think we're going to be choppy and pretty much waiting for the data to show up to set a clear direction. Again, I would like to see, I would want to see this low from August 1st being taken out if you want to continue being bullish. Unless, of course, we'll see a big engulfing bullish candle here that confirms that now we're going to respect this gap here. I'm going to be looking for sells. Today, I really wanted to sell, of course, but there was no structure for me to take any sells. That's why I tried to long actually, because if you look at the H1, right? Look at the H1 here. So we swept the London from August 20, right? We traded back into the range with aggressive and speed right here, and then we started to print bullish order flow. You see, this is the hourly time frame. We have this hourly gap here. This is Asia. The price traded into the gap and then expand higher from there, right? And it was the same thing during New York. So during New York, this was my condition, this gap here in the hourly time frame. I really wanted to see some sort of displacement out of this gap to confirm, the bearish structure, at least on the hourly time frame. We want to see maybe a displacement lower and then a retracement back into that dealing range to keep trading lower, but it didn't happen. So the trade for today was looking for longs, and when I got stopped out, it was just clearly not the best day to trade. It is what it is, right? So right now, I mean, we're still in the waiting game. We want to see what's going to happen tomorrow during Asia and London. But this price action is pretty much waiting for NFP. So if we go to the hourly time frame here, we have this structure here. We have this low, right? This is the current dealing range, which is this one. You see that we have this retracement into the equilibrium, into the discount area to look for longs, and that was where the gap was this morning. So tomorrow, as for tomorrow, since we're still in this range here, I will want to see the price taking out this low here, right? If we take this low with displacement, with momentum, showing a clear intention of going lower, I will want to see another gap here and a retracement back into that gap to trade back into the August 20 low, and then afterwards taking August 1st low. This is going to be a waiting game. This is the play that I wanted to see. If tomorrow we have this big engulfing and bullish candle here, and then we present a new deal in range, then I'm going to, of course, trade higher to take pretty much this high here. This one looks good. This is going to be like the target, and this high as the target for the rest of the week. It depends on what's going to happen overnight, right? So it's going to be pretty much something like this. If we trade higher overnight and then we sweep this high and we create a new daily range with a gap, I'm going to wait for a retracement to tap into these highs here and here. If it's the opposite, of course, I'm going to look for sells. Is it cleanest for me to trade on NASDAQ between all the indexes? Because if you look at the SP 500, it's pretty much looking messy because we already took the all-time high and now we're trading lower and higher, and this is now starting to consolidate right here. So now this is a consolidation profile. We want to see an expansion either higher or lower, and most of the times, if you look at the Euro USD, it's pretty much it can happen that with the price swept and takes liquidity from one of the side of the consolidation and then expands on the opposite direction. It can happen. So I'm going to be waiting for that to happen. US 30, I was waiting for the price to take out that high, the all-time high. We had the initial reaction from the daily gap. As you guys can see here, we failed to print a new higher high, and we were aiming for the low as we did on NASDAQ. So right now I'm going to stay away from the US 30. I don't want to trade this one right now unless I'm actually watching something clear from where the price want to go, because what I can expect right now is prices taking liquidity from both sides to actually set a clear direction, because we can just take this low, right? This low here, we're going to take the liquidity from this low. Oh, sorry about that. So we take liquidity from this low, and then we can trade higher, or it can be, I was actually expecting the opposite. I was expecting the price to take this high and then trade lower, but now we're on this range, as you guys can see. So just staying away for now. And SP 500, of course, the same. So my eyes are all on NASDAQ for tomorrow. This is going to be the game that I have. I wanted to see tomorrow based on this range. And of course, if we have this exact same high side with the Ken model, if we're sweeping Asia or we're sweeping London, and we have this confirmation here, it's going to be nice to look for this high or this low as the target. Okay, guys. Nothing much. Nothing much.
Okay.
To be honest.
I'm just watching now the Euro USD. If I'll have a trade on it, but I'll probably just finish the analysis. Someone was actually asking before I share the charts again. Someone was asking in the Discord as well, then in the live chat, if we can clarify or explain what is our stop loss. What is our stop loss rule, or what is how do we approach setting stop losses? How do we manage that? Would you guys mind to give some tips on how do you deal with stop losses?
The stop loss is not required at all, but it's always recommended. You know, you always need to have a stop loss in price. And even more when with these trading conditions, price is moving so fast, you know. So you always wanted to have a stop loss. For me, it's pretty much fixed because I'm always trading like the same size on base of points, so I'm pretty much risking the same, and my risk is actually fixed as well to 0.5%. So
Okay.
it's pretty much the way that, on the way you see the trading and the way is like your personality. I think I know people that actually trades and they're looking like the stop loss with their mind, and they say like, if we get to that level, I'm going to close, and that's fine, but it's not going to give you an exact amount of loss. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because if we get to that price, we can just trade it a little bit higher or a little bit lower, and at the end of the day, you'll always have like more loss, less loss. So
Mm-hmm.
it's better to set a stop loss actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It also very depends on the strategy that you trade. I mean, what I wouldn't do is what most of the traders do. That's why it's called stop hunting, stop loss hunting. Is just place it above higher high. At the best possible scenario, you want to place it where there's nothing. I mean, no support, no resistance, like nothing below, nothing above. Trying to place that stop loss. Think a little bit outside of the box and place your stop loss somewhere where normal trader wouldn't place it.
It's a
If
good
I
point, Jake.
yeah,
Yeah,
if I
it's a
can
very
say it
valid
just
point.
like that. So you need to be thinking like a ordinary trader, but you should be acting differently. So that's also why I usually trade the higher highs, because most of the traders, as I said with the gold, most of the traders, they don't think the new high highs are gonna happen because the market is oversold, overbought. They're already looking
Mm.
for pullbacks, trading against the trend, and that when it happens, and sometimes it's because of that happens. So yeah, if you want to have a good level for your stop loss, try to find a place where there's nothing in the market on the technical part and place it there. So that's probably how I also do the stop losses. And also, someone in the Discord shared a trade today that he what do I think about his stop losses, and he moved his stop loss as he got in himself into a profit, which is also a good thing to do. Sometimes you might get a little bit of pullback and you get less profits than you would if you had your stop loss placed normally, because the market then can continue. But any profits are better than no profits. I always say that. And with placing your stop losses on break even, or once you a little bit in a profit, let's say 30 pips, and you want to let your position run, and if there's still a momentum, just do 20 pips, 15 pips, in case that something happens, some news, Trump tweets something, or whatever happens, and you might end up even in a loss rather than a smaller profit. So
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah,
to tell where you should be placing the stop losses. Depends on your strategy, but at least a few
Yeah.
tips there.
Well,
definitely.
in like on a place to set your stop loss, it will be of course based on swing highs and swing lows when you have a confirmation. Like if you're trading a retracement and you have a confirmation that the price that's like the higher low or the lower high, then you're going to protect that as the swing low or high. Where your stop should be pretty much. But you always need to use a stop loss. If you guys trade futures and you see like Nasdaq or SP 500 doing the near session 9:30, man, that's moving madness. Like if you don't have to stop, you can easily blow your account like in seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
Jay, I
okay.
just wanted to quickly just
Sure,
share
sure.
an example of
Yeah, of course.
what you said, because you can see my screen, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, obviously everyone has a different style. I do, when I am going long, I do look for, I look to get in. If I'm going long, I do look to get in at that high low, for a higher high. Obviously, yeah, what Jake said is very valid. And for me, I do try and take that into consideration by leaving a little bit of breathing room below the low, because just for example, right, we've got this 30-minute structure at the moment on Euro where we bounced at 116. Now we're printing high highs, high lows. Obviously, a lot of people would have been taking longs from here, this new higher low, and then obviously expecting a higher high. Obviously, we ran into resistance at that former high, and then we pulled back. And this is like a classic example of that stop hunting, because a lot of people would have had
Yeah.
their stops here, and then boom, little sweep there, taking out those stops just with that wick, and then a continuation, then going for that higher high. So obviously just keep that into consideration. Just literally just reinforcing and with a nice example of what Jake noted there. That's just a classic move there of stop hunting and then a continuation. So yeah,
nice
just
example.
mm,
Perfect one.
okay, man.
Okay. So I'll let you guys in the chat if you have any other questions. I'll just share the screen what I'm eyeing right now on Euro USD. Again, if I'll be taking any trades or
Are you looking at
getting
longs?
into market, yeah, I'm actually thinking about Euro USD taking the longs. I particularly
Yeah, I
like
was looking
this
at it myself.
area around 1.166. If
Yeah,
I'd be going for new high back
yeah, I'm
towards this
looking at that.
zone. You're looking at it as well.
I'm looking at it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what I'm watching. I'm very interested in what's going to happen once we reach this zone that I highlighted. The top of the zone is 1.166. So once we reach there, and if we're going to get some sort of a candlestick pattern, I don't know how much you believe in candlestick pattern, but let me see the brush. Where's the brush? I'm always getting lost. Yeah. And if we see something that suggested that we can basically reverse in that correction and continue towards the upside, because I think it's going to happen again, like with the gold, we're going to create new high on Euro USD.
Mhm.
I would love to enter, but I would at least need some, because it's Euro USD now, very messy, very weird behavior. So I would need to see some candlestick formation, some pattern. That's what I'm eyeing right now. Yeah, I'll most likely update you on the Discord, but that's probably the only trade I'm looking for as we speak.
Mhm.
So your idea is pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much same. Looking at about maybe around about 16 to be precise, 16 sort of 58-ish. I'm going to be looking at sort of candlestick formation, looking for a potential reversal candle, and
Okay.
then
Yeah.
potential taking those longs. And I'll just be conservative. I'll be running that just to the highs of 1680, 81-ish,
Yeah.
just being conservative. And probably have quite a tight stop below that. Below
Okay.
so when we get that reversal candle, I'll have a stop just below and then look to run that into 1680.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that sounds smart.
yeah, I don't think we're going to get this though until probably be London tomorrow. I think
Mm.
price action could be really slow now.
Yeah, most definitely. It's almost 7 p.m. in UK, so we're not going to get too much momentum. But
No.
yeah, I think I was just taking a look at the sentiment on Euro USD. It's still bearish. It's not as bearish as it was when we were somewhere here. At this point, we were about 70% retail. So we're still on average, I think 62% on this level. So in that being that said, I still believe that there are high odds that we're going to create the new high.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I'm eyeing. Okay, let me double check the chat if we have something that I've missed while I was analyzing. Yeah, by the way, I'm reading that, guys. Congratulations, those of you who passed the giveaway evaluation. We had a couple of them actually. Few of them
You gave the
were
accounts
messaging.
and you gave the trade to pass as well.
Yeah, it was two really
Wait.
good days on Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, if someone actually, two people on a Discord was the first one who said that he traded both of those trades on a gold, and then I've got a few messages on Instagram that I can share in a story. So at this point, I just feel like Jerome Powell for the last 2 days printing money. So I'm glad to see that, guys. So yeah, good job on it. Uh, Other than that, I don't see any other questions. So yeah, just one more news, guys. Next week on Tuesday at around same time as we do the live stream, we're gonna go live on X. We used to be Twitter with JV, our performance coach. Angel and Kenya are also invited if you would like to join. It's a regular talk for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, uh, where we just be discussing tips for beginners, slightly advanced, or even advanced traders. We'll choose a topic, or at best, you can choose a topic, and we'll dive deep into it just to provide additional value. It's going to be no charts, no screen sharing, just a casual chat between a few
Nice.
traders.
What days is that taking place?
Tuesday at around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. UK time next
Nice.
week.
Okay.
You'll see.
Awesome.
I'll send the link to you guys in the live chat on my. Oh, don't send it. I'll share it on my Instagram story. Okay. I think we've got it covered. Thanks to you, Ken and Angel, for your analysis and for your insights.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
Jake. Thanks, Angel.
And
Thanks
we'll
to
see you again on a Monday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so best of luck, traders, and I'll see you again on Monday. Cheers, guys.
All right. See you guys.
See you later, guys.